I don't know about you guys, but I feel like the world we live in today is constantly trying to fuel us with the most depressing things in the world. I re-downloaded TikTok the other day just to kind of scroll and, watch a couple videos that my friends had made along with my girlfriend, and my entire feed was just the most depressing about, like, relationships not working out, politics. There was a lot of, religious anger, and I was like, I've not had TikTok in over 4 months. And the first time that I download this app, I am just shown with the most horribly sad videos of people being so upset and hating their lives and all the things that just make them sad and all the things that they've gone through. And it just made me realize, like, a lot of what we see today is just for people to get clicks. And what sells the most is the things that will apparently engage you the most, which are the bad things, the outrage, the anger, all the downsides of the world. And it broke my heart a little bit, I'll be honest, because a lot of those comments that I saw, even if they were just, sadder edits of, other characters and things going through some of their worst moments, the way that so many people related to it was depressing. I saw a Dean Winchester edit, and it was just about, I don't even know what it was, but it was something about how bad his life was, and everybody was like, I'm here, this is me, this is literally me, I'm dealing with these things, and it just broke my heart. What's up, everybody? I'm Dalto, and I don't mean to start off with a depressing thing, but I just wanted to say, like, this is kind of what I feel like a lot of people experience and what I've experienced too, but I want to tell you, and the reason I wanted to make this video, I don't have any plans, I don't have any ideas as to what I'm gonna say, but I wanted to say that things aren't nearly as bad as people make them out to be or how people want you to think. Now, when you have these sad feelings, you have these things that you're dealing with, they are entirely valid. I want you to hear that. No matter what your feelings are, whether you're happy, sad, angry, anxious, depressed, overjoyed, whatever it is, all of your feelings are valid. Feel them. But I feel like our world profits on our outrage, our sadness, our anxiety, and especially through social media, feeds us these videos and such that make us feel even worse than what we are so that we feel hopeless. Now, whether part of this is big corporations to make us feel like we can't do anything and the only thing that we can do is make ourselves feel good in the moment and, buy all their products and such, that's a whole nother conversation, but it definitely loops in, to say the least. I just find it so sad that the world that we're in is fueled by people using our feelings against us. And I just wanted to let you know that things in this world are not nearly as bad as they seem, and that things will always get better. For me personally, I've spent a lot of my life dealing with depression and anxiety. I was diagnosed before going into high school, officially, even though I had been dealing with those kinds of feelings for a couple years before, and it was something that was really tough on me. I'm going to be entirely honest. It was something that I struggled with for a very, very long time. I wondered why I wasn't like everybody else, even though more people than I realized were dealing with the same feelings that I was dealing with. And I sat there, and a lot of what I went through, I kind of fueled in a way. It was nice to know when I would go online that I wasn't alone in what I was feeling. But at the same time, I personally took it to another level where it was like, any time that I was sad, I had any kind of minor inconvenience, whatever it was, I just would go online and I would scroll or I would see things and I'd be like, man, I would like make myself more sad. And it would just be a constant rabbit hole. I'd see sad videos and I'd see sad edits, and then I would listen to sad music, and I just felt so hopeless because also when I looked out in the world, that's all I was being fed was how horrible, you know, this person who believes this thing is, or how horrible this person who believes the opposite thing is. And it's just like everyone is always angry and sad, and it's just what gets people the most engagement. You think about rage bait, right? That's kind of something that's come into the modern day vernacular that is something that we didn't have. Like, obviously, yes, we used to call them trolls, all the time. And I mean, they're still called trolls, obviously. But rage bait is more of the Gen Alpha / Gen Z vernacular to piss someone off for fun. If y'all have ever seen the picture of the dude yelling and the monkey just holding his chin, that's kind of something that we have to deal with every day. So people will go in comments and they will say the most atrocious things. They will upset people in the craziest ways just to get engagement, whether it's to make money or whether because they like the attention. Who knows? But it is something that's happening. And our news sites are constantly funneling us the worst of the worst. Think about this for a second. When was the last time that you turned on the news and saw something happy? That you saw good news, a good Samaritan, some might say, feeding the homeless, or how a hospital helps people with cancer and they found a groundbreaking new way to do chemotherapy. You never see news about that. You only see the news of wars, sadness, depression for people like Gen Z that they're constantly saying they don't want to work, they're the laziest generation, they're this, they're that, they're addicted to their screens, they're never going to amount to anything, yada yada. And I only speak to that as someone who is a part of Gen Z that has seen those headlines over and over and over again. And I don't, like, I'm sitting here and it pops in my head like, man, am I making a video that's just doom and despair 101? Is this the video of doom and despair? Like, is that what it is, I hope not. But I feel like I'm setting the groundwork for something that I feel like a lot of us are feeling. And I don't have any kind of miraculous, it's going to get better, this is how it is, life is all good, and I don't want to paint you a picture that life is all sunshine and rainbows and everything is, perfect all the time, because it's not. And it's okay to feel how we feel. Don't ever hear me say any of this and just say like, oh, well, everybody's sad and depressed now. Depression and anxiety ain't real. You just got to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. No. I was raised that way, and that's not, well, partly raised that way. And that's not how I ever want to tell anyone to live their life, or to think that that's how they have to live their life. Because trust me, it's not. As someone who wants to be a mental health therapist, it is not. I promise. But I do want you to know that the world that we live in is more beautiful than you could possibly imagine. And that, genuinely, life is good. I put in the thumbnail, hope maxing, because I was like, that was kind of funny. It popped in my head like I've seen some reels. If you want to look on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, search up hope maxing. See what you can find. There's a lot of really, really sweet things. I really do just want to say, though, that the world is beautiful. And I want you to know that things get better. We spend a lot of our lives constantly searching for threats. It's how we innately are designed as humans, is to search for red flags, dangers, all the things, because we want to keep ourselves safe. And maybe you guys relate to this, especially if you are around my age. I mean, I see my age demographic, and it's actually older than my age. It's like the average of like 25 to 55 are actually most of the people that tune in. Now, if you guys are younger than that, phenomenal. So glad you're here. But that is most of my age demographic. So maybe a lot of people relate when they say the uncertainty of life can be a lot. And it can seem like when we don't know what our next steps are, that there are no next steps. But for me, I realized that constantly worrying about things does nothing but drain my mental health. And I know, yes, there are some adequate worries and things like that, but I really just kind of want to also share, and I apologize first and foremost if this seems like I am just rambling. Because honestly, I want to kind of just have like a genuine conversation. I make these videos in a way where I don't have anything planned, where I just kind of yap. I'm not really like, I will have video essays up, but I'm not a video essayist. By any means am I not a video essayist. I'm just kind of here to yap as if you guys were on games with me and we were all just having fun and chatting it up. That's kind of what I do. It's for fun and for you guys to enjoy chatting it up with me. But for me recently, I have been kind of just taking a step back and going, what can I control? A lot of what we're fed in our day-to-day lives, we can't control. The political and socioeconomic place of the world, we can't control that. We're just, like, we are civilians, yes, and we vote and we do the things, but at the end of the day, none of us can really go, oh yeah, we're going to entirely change the economy, or we're going to, affect a presidency, or we're going to prevent this law from being passed, or whatever. And I know I may be very, American centralized at the moment, but given that that's where I live, that's where most of my examples will come from. It's just tough, especially when we're like, we want change, or we want things to be different, and we feel we have no control. But what will make our lives exponentially better is what can you control? If we feel, particularly me recently, I've been dealing with a lack of energy and a lot of anxiety. I realized I got out of the shower this morning and I was like, man, I was worried about some stuff and I was praying and I was just like, I'm really anxious. And I just felt my heart and it was beating so fast. And I was like, man, this is insane. Like, I didn't think that I was this worried about anything, and like my body was just go, 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 go. And I sat back and I just meditated. I went, I'm just gonna breathe. I'm gonna think about what's good in my life, what's going on, what was a highlight that I've had recently. And in my French class, I got a 80 on a quiz that I locked in for maybe, I would say, 20-ish minutes before. I was like, man, this is a vocab quiz. I had work that morning, and I was like, you know what, I have more time to study, but I kind of just decompressed after work. And I got an 80, and it was really good. I was like, man, okay, you know what, 10-question quiz, I got 8 right out of 10. I'm feeling good. I thought about that. I thought about a highlight. I took a deep breath. I was like, okay. I had a nice breakfast this morning. I was woken up another day full of opportunities. The sun's starting to come up, and I kind of get I'm a little different. At the start, going in from winter into spring, I get seasonal depression. And it's weird. I get more depressed when the sun comes out, which is contrary to what a lot of people feel. A lot of people get seasonal depression during winter, and then as spring comes up and the sun starts coming out and they get that, hit of vitamin D, they're like, oh boy, I feel great. I don't feel as anxious, or I don't feel as depressed, or I don't feel as worried anymore. When the world is changing and it gets warmer, it kind of reminds me, like, I get out of my shell a little bit. And it puts me in a place where I think, what have I done? Since it was warm, since I was out doing all the things over summer, what have I achieved? And sometimes it's not quite what I want. But the world will tell you to look at the things that you've not achieved. And why couldn't you do more? You'll see the influencers on Instagram that are, oh boy, look at me, and this is my 5 to 9 after my 9 to 5, and I'm, coming home, I'm letting the dogs out, we're going on a run, then I'm going to the gym, then I'm eating dinner, then I'm hanging out with my wife, and I'm, putting my kids to bed, and all the things, which are all wonderful, great for them. But at least for me, my, 5 to 9, after I end up coming home from my 9 to 5 or school or work or whatever, mine's really like more of like a 6 to 4, between school and work. When I come home from my 6 to 4, I take a nap, I scroll, I maybe get, a couple things of snack food, maybe some junk food, and watch some YouTube, scroll YouTube shorts, maybe play a couple games with my buddies, maybe make a video if I'm really, really feeling it, and then I go to bed. So, with that being said, I don't want you guys to compare, your life to what other people are putting out there as their highlight reel, or what the world is trying to say, hey, everything is awful. Yeah, things are bad, but don't let this world being as tough or stressful as it is prevent you from going, okay, this is the good in my life. It's all about a mindset switch. It's tough when we sit here and we're like, yeah, this is what I'm seeing all the time, and it's so depressing, and I'm angry, and a lot of times we have the right to be angry. Be angry. But don't let that angriness consume you to a point that you can't see the joy that's right in front of you. Y'all ever woken up and, it's earlier than what you wanted to wake up, but the sun's kind of just coming up and you have that golden haze through your window? It just feels different. Under you, you're aware of your bed, and it feels softer than ever. Your blankets, a little bit heavier, they're warmer. You can feel yourself being a little cold, but, maybe your feet are sticking out from under the blanket. You feel yourself being cold, but then you stick your feet under, and it feels so warm and so amazing. I had that happen the other day, and it just made me so happy, because I was like, man, this world really is a beautiful place. I could see the trees outside flowing in the wind. It was just this beautiful golden haze. And it made me realize that this world is a beautiful place. No matter how much evil, no matter how much sadness, no matter how much horrible things happen, humanity's capacity for good is endless. And your capacity to feel that good is infinite. So please, know that life is better than what people try and paint to you. And when you're in these moments and you feel all of it, feel it all. But know that these feelings don't last for forever. There's hope on the other end of everything. I say that as I've lost both of my games, but I've been more focused on just talking. I apologize if it seemed like a bunch of rambling, but I was just kind of having fun and chit-chatting. It was a video that, I got most of the time. I think of titles and things I want to talk about, but I don't know what I'm going to say. This one I feel a little bit more, was it alright? But I hope so. Regardless, keep hope maxing, keep seeing the joy in life, and love yourselves, love others. I want to thank you guys for watching. As always, have a good morning, evening, afternoon, or night. And I hope to see you in the next one. I will be streaming tomorrow if you guys would like to check that out. Y'all have a blessed night. It's night when I record this. Y'all have a blessed whenever you're watching it. Peace out, everybody.